Hey, what's going on, my friends? It is Wednesday. It's Hump Day, November 3rd. Hump Day. Let's try to make some money. We'll look back at last night a little bit, look forward to tonight as well. Covered a lot of stuff yesterday in the stream. Actually, executed a few things that I had talked about live, including limiting Russ, LBJ, and Anthony Davis to one per lineup. That way, I didn't end up with I mean, we looked at it. We saw out of my 150 initials, I had two lineups where all three of them were in there at 9.2, 9.8, 10K. Just miserable type build. And then there was a bunch of other ones there were two of them. I just thought that might be a little expensive. Wasn't sure if they were going to hit their total. They ended up having a great game. All three of them did very well. But still, you were okay without them. You didn't necessarily need them. There were other players that did well at different price points, and it worked out all right. And I'm actually going to show that right now, my friends. So this was FanDuel, and I actually only got lineups in last night on FanDuel. And here's my exposures that I ended up having. It went real well. Let me show you. I ended up having, unfortunately, it sucked. Unfortunately, there was somebody, or I don't know what happened, but there were like 40 lineups tied for like third place. I was in third place with like 2 minutes left, winning 15K, and I was 3 points down from winning 100,000. And then you can see Travis in here, Trav Sig. He ended up having a smash night, took fourth place, but he was a part of that massive tie. Go Cavs. Looked like this one person just ran out some type of pivot later and had Frank Kaminsky and scored at 390. But you can see it just took up every freaking cashing spot. And then here I am at 51st, which ended up being like the fifth or sixth highest scoring lineup. And of course, because I was behind a 46-person tie, it sucked. Absolutely sucked. So I went from 15,000 down to this. Ended up okay, though. I mean, I made 1,400 in the tournament. Had, I believe, let me see my entries. I want to say all but like 10 cashed. Nope, 8. So 142 out of 150 cashed last night. Just absolutely smashed. 142 out of 150. How'd I get there? Well, let me show you. So it's exactly what I talked about on stream. I literally limited these three players. That's it. From there, when I had crunched my initials, and by the way, had I just left it, Rudy Gobert was in there 100% of the time. So what I did is I locked Valanciunas for 30 lineups to give me 20% exposure to Valanciunas, who did well, but Gobert outscored him and was a little bit cheaper. So, in fact, I'm intrigued. If I had ran just my 150, would I have a higher score? If I see something that would have taken down the 100,000 here, I'm going to kick myself so hard. Might just end the stream, to be honest. So 2 rules I ran. I had, why is Eric Gordon getting 0? Did he get hurt last night? Oh, he didn't play? Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt during the game? The initial part of the game? And I not know? That sucks. I didn't even know I had 25% of my lineups had him. Well, let's check them out anyways. So the 2 rules I did last night, I limited, and I deleted it this morning because I was trying to see if I can make some more money. I deleted, I had created the one where I said 1 Laker, and then I had put this on 3. So let's see. And then I had locked Valanciunas in for 30 lineups, which is 20% of my 150. Late scratch, I didn't even see it. I would have pivoted off. Golly. Wow. So I had 142 cashing lineups with 39 of those lineups having Eric Gordon in it. Oh, gosh. I mean, I feel like I could have won a tournament last night. All right, let's sort. 392.7. Dang it. And let me see. What is that? Oh. It was second place. Golly, it was second place last night. So if I literally just didn't mess around, left Gobert in at 100%, second place. I did trust the projections. I made two little changes. 30 lineups to Val, and then I just capped the Lakers to 1. I didn't touch my projections or player pool. I ran 1 unique. Super simple, fam. That's a $30,000 edit. Golly, that sucks. I'm not going to say it. That is frustrating, though. Well, what was the pivot? So when Eric Gordon was out, let's see. Because I'm wondering about those 39 lineups. I didn't even know I took a 0 in. Just totally missed it. It was 4.2K. That's a tough pivot. LA would have been like Bazemore probably. So let's add 19 points. That's a direct pivot. So let me search all my Eric Gordon lineups from last night. Sort by actual score. So adding 19 to the highest score I would have had would have been 381. A 381 would have been fine. Right here, about 35 extra bucks. 19 more points to 39 other lineups, though. I mean, is there a chance I literally would have cashed 150 out of 150 yesterday? Maybe. Yeah, no, Mike, you ain't wrong, dude. You are not wrong. Like, if I saw this morning that I would have, if I had just left Gobert at 100%, I would have won 100K. I mean, that's hard to swallow. That's hard to swallow for sure. But seeing it would have been 30K, yes, I'm upset. 30K I missed out on because I got in my way a little bit. But, shoot. I mean, if it were 100K, I'd probably just end the stream and I don't get on for another 24 hours. Oh, Gordon was after lock? Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel better. Let's look at DraftKings. You upload. I downloaded everything, by the way, yesterday. 12:14 a.m. I made sure I got everything. Cores, picks, pools. We grab DraftKings projections. These are just right off the site. You can download all of these right off the site. All right, so I've got the uploaded projections here, and I have no clue what happens over here. I think I have the same rules set up. Players max 3. Set this group back up. Actually, let's just run it raw. Let's run it all raw. See what happens. I mean, it can't go well, right? There was just too much. There was too much talk last night. You had to mess around with it. And we'll find out. Maybe it would have done okay. I mean, it's just a pure upload and crunch with no tweaking right now, and it's doing all right. Heck. Comma Club was popping off last night, I'll say that. The ROF Comma Club. What do we have? 4 members and myself all hit between 4 and between 1,000 and 5,500 won, something like that. It was a good day. Good day for members. Comma Club, baby. Hey, check this out. This is pretty solid. How many people lost money last night? Raise your hand on DraftKings. Upload the projections and crunch, you made money. Upload projections and crunch, you made money. Optimal scored a 281, looks like. No locks, nothing. Yeah, it's just optimal. Not bad. Look at the smaller mini max. Yeah, all right. Make a little profit. You lose money in that $5. More risk, more reward. Let's see. All right, let's do some stuff here. So I'm going to add the Westy, James, and AD group at most 1. Slap this on 3. Players max per team, 3. I'm going to throw a minimum in here. Well, let's let this rip. Excuse me. I mean, that Cade Cunningham play too, and I sent the tweet out this morning. It was the right play. I saw someone reply to me on Twitter today. Like, there were other great options at guard who you could pivot to at the same price point. Not really, fam. Like, I get that George Hill outscored him, but George Hill's ceiling, probably not even close to what Cade Cunningham's will be. And it's not like he didn't have the opportunity. 29 minutes, took 14 shots, went 0 for 9 from 3. I mean, even if just a couple of those fall, right? And you're looking at 18 points. Just a miserable 3 for 22 to start, 0 for 14 from downtown. Does not get worse. But I stand behind that. I think he was an easy lock and go. Yeah. No, I get it. There's really no reason to fade him. He's going to be, listen, when his shot and stuff starts falling, this kid's going to be $7,500 on DraftKings, 7K, 8K, something like that. It might take a while. I mean, missed the entire preseason, right? It might take a while, but shoot. There's going to be time when you look back and you're like, yeah, you're right. That was the right play. Just lock and go. And I'm telling you right now, like if his price next slate is like 4K, I'm doing it again. Nice. All right, Legendarius. I mean, I'm doing it again, literally until he's just priced at where I think his ceiling is. You get a guy who's going to be playing 30 plus. He's going to take 15, 20 shots per game. He's 6'8" at point guard, fam. I mean, this is like Ben Simmons who can shoot better, supposedly, right? He's going to rack up rebounds. He's going to get assists. I mean, he has triple-double potential. I'm not like the biggest NBA watcher, college watcher, but I know enough people that are, and I trust their judgment. This kid's going to be very good. All right, so marginal changes. I mean, all they did was say, I only want a max of 1 Laker. I threw it on 3 uniques, and I said no more than 3. This is raw projections, and you made a little profit. Again, so it's like, if you struggled last night, did you tweak yourself out of money? I don't know. If you tweaked yourself out of money, be careful. That's all. Let's look at this one. Let's looking at this, thinking about this today. Like, what if we just capped it at 2? It's rare. We continue to see like 2 guys, right? Giannis and Thanasis. Booker and Bridges. But like if Chris Paul was added, ain't happening. Conley, Bojan, and Gobert all in the same lineup. No, not really. Ain't gonna work. What's up, Real King? What kind of situations we have tonight? Well, this is crunching. Let's take a peek. What is it? 77 lineups? All right, so I got a couple minutes here. Wow, we have an 11-game slate. Look at all the studs. My goodness. Let me go DraftKings. Oh my gosh. Let me sort by salary. What is that, about 18 players or so? 20 players over 9K? Oh my word. And they're all over the different positions. Multiple centers, multiple forwards, multiple guards. Oh, yeah, we're going to take a look at this before I go. Absolutely. So many studs. What kind of value are we looking at then? Malik Beasley. Jordan McLaughlin. Is D'Lo out? D'Angelo Russell out today? I mean, it's the only reason why I would see McLaughlin and Beasley popping like this. And 84 for Beasley. I mean, we saw Beasley last year get up to like 7K. Do you guys remember that? He was scoring at will at one point, man. I mean, it's going to be, if he ends up starting tonight too, shoot. He is. Yeah, okay. Thanks. So D'Lo must be out. Beasley, I bet he's starting tonight. Even if he comes off the second unit, he's going to take 18 shots. Oh, boy. Beasley chalk night. What's the ownership? 20%. Svi Mikhailiuk, he's starting for Toronto. Who's hurt there? Toronto. OG? Boucher. Did Boucher also join? Who's the other person that's hurt? Svi started last game. That's right. Who was it? There was somebody who was out for Toronto. Precious? I don't remember. Barnes. Thank you. Scotty Barnes was out. So Svi started. And Boucher dudded. He had like 4 points, right? Oh, yeah. Let's look at tonight. Listen, so I showed FanDuel, 142 out of 150 lineups cashed. I would have taken second in the freaking clutch shot had I not made that one pivot. And then that would have been a $30,000 change. And then let's look at DraftKings did well. Same thing. You know, made a little profit if you just didn't tweak things. Is San Antonio on the slate tonight? Just saw news about that too. Let's take a peek there. Let me grab the projections. Upload these real quick. Hey, somebody asked me how to upload projections in chat. I hope they're watching. So you click, you'll like hover over NBA tools, click NBA projections. Your internet speed will pop this baddie up. Click on DraftKings, click download. It pops up down here. All right. Go back to FC, click upload data right here. Upload file. DraftKings, I click skip all, skip. So what that does is it says the name we have on our file will map the name here. Projection will map the name in the projection spot. Perfect. If I want to add our DK ratings, our ownership, and our rise percentages, you can do that. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to upload last night and crunch by rise percentage. I'm going to go back and do that in a hot second. All right, let's see tonight. Let's see our value. Malik Beasley, 41 hundo. I mean, look, what the? He played 32 minutes last night. Last game. And now no D'Lo. Huh. I mean, you're going to see. Look at the price tag we used to pay for this kid. 7-1. I said 7K. I shorted it. 7-3. Was he above that? 7-2. I mean, Beasley for a few years now, when he gets run, this kid can score. He can score. Yeah, he's gonna be hard to pass up. We've seen Svi in these types of spots too. He's not like a high point per minute guy, but he's 3.7K. Cheap value, man. Who's out for LA? Zubac? Is it Zubac? I don't get that play. Look at these injuries, actually. I feel like oh my goodness. So Tobias, I saw that one. He was out tonight. D'Lo, yup. Scotty Barnes, Kevin Love. Oh, I saw Lauri Markkanen is also out. So no K-Love, no Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen, by the way, made my cores the other night when I saw Kevin Love out. And now I saw Markkanen get ruled out. So who the heck is standing there in Cleveland? Here was his last game with Kevin Love out. Smash, bro. 41. He scored 100 points on Superdraft. I won $4,000 that night. Pay attention to them cores, fam. $900 profit doing that? Let's go, dude. Yeah, we did. There was you have only I think we capped it where we said you only have under 4K. You only would have one player under 4K and only one guy was allowed over 9K. And we kept seeing that in DraftKings, it's not as stud and dud as like FanDuel. That mid-range of like 4 to 8K players is where you build the winning lineups. Great memory, Jonathan. I actually totally forgot about that. Yeah, let's look at Cleveland. CD Osman at 3.6. There's your pivot off of Svi Mikhailic, by the way. I mean, we know that CD, if he gets double-digit shots, he can start hitting some of them threes. I mean, I don't know if Svi has that type of upside, honestly. I mean, he took 8 shots and scored 35. Good luck replicating that. I actually really like CD Osman tonight. Evan Mobley, 7K. I mean, he played 40. Oh, my gosh. He's priced up, though. He's priced up. He's facing a bull and Nurkic down low. Jared Allen. I guess Jared Allen. Whoa, Jared Allen went bonkers. That's a good point. I guess Mobley's running at the 4, isn't he? I don't know. I think I like Sexton most. Or excuse me, CD Osman most. He's just so cheap. You think Dean Wade is? I don't know, man. He can't score. I have to go look at rotations last game. I'll look at that later. That's going to play a part, though. That's going to play a part in what I do tonight. Interesting. Oh, that's right. That's right. I want to look at more of these value plays. I mean, if we were to set up those groups, by the way, if anybody's like, well, how do you do that? How do you do that? There's a few different ways you can do that. So one of the ways, you can uncheck everybody. All right. And then you can take the salary, click this little button, and you can filter 3 to 4. All right. Beautiful. So we've got all the 3 to 4K players. You can click this. So you put them all back in, click this little down arrow, add selected, create new group. And you could say to this massive group that you want to make a rule where only one, at most one, gets in your player pool. And then you go back to the salary. You can reset it. And now just do the opposite. Here's 9K. Grab this, make a group, add selected, create new group. All right. And then you say same thing, at most one. And there you go. Go back to your salary, reset it, add all players in. And now when you crunch out your lineups, every single lineup you create will have one player under 4K, one player over 9K max at most. And then everybody else will be in the 4 to 8K range. And you can see right now, instead of all these guys getting a ton of exposure because they're all super high values, look at the 4K range. They're being used as the value plays. Kyle Anderson, Furkan Korkmaz, right? And then you get the mid-tier guys like Gary Trent Jr., who I think was also in one of our cores last game too. At least mentioned it on stream. And then at the top end, when I sort by salary, see it spreads itself out a little bit more. But look in the 8K range. Now look, guy like Jonas gets used a ton because we said you can only have one player over 9K. And if somebody's like, well, why the heck would you do that? Simply because last year we did it when we were in Rewind, and it worked a ton. But I would also say that this early in the season, it's just a little bit different. At this early in the season, I think with the pricing, I don't know, fam. I think with the pricing, it's hard. It's hard to to not just eat some of those value plays. Like, look at the exposure we have here. A lot of our lineups will have both Svi and Beasley in there together. I'm telling you now, CD Osman, I'm going to give a boost to if our projections don't. I thought Nang's getting another 16 shots. Well, maybe. I don't know. I forgot Danny Green is also out, right? Embiid is supposed to be back, though, I believe. That's interesting. How much does he cost? 3.8? I mean, there's pivots everywhere tonight. I mean, it might not be any reason to eat like chalk, especially if it's expensive. Like Cat. Maybe that's the pivot tonight. Right? He's 10-6. He's going to be the highest owned stud. Shoot. I mean, look at all the studs. I don't know if it makes too much sense to eat. I mean, even like, Curry, Luka, Cat, Harden. Those four are 10%, are over double-digit ownership. Look at all the other studs in here. I mean, would anybody be shocked if Joker outscores Curry, Cat, Harden, Doncic? I would not be. I would not even be shocked if Paul George did with the season he's having. KD would be shocking. So would Embiid. Tatum would not. He's always game for a big one. Ja Morant, baby. Don't like the matchup. Yeah, I don't know. Dejounte Murray, maybe? I mean, shoot. What a stud this year. My goodness. I don't know. It just seems like a night where it does not make sense to eat any high expensive chalk. There's just so many good plays. Jonathan says, we filtered out players less than 20. Yeah, that was for projections for sure. Just have to eliminate off the slate. I don't really tweak my player pool, I'll be honest. I don't eliminate players, I should say. I don't want to say I don't tweak my player pool. Let me do the one thing here. Let me do the one thing I said I was going to do today. I wanted to crunch by rise. The rise percentage. So I'm adding these new columns. See all this new data. I'm just going to refresh it, make sure everything aligns, looks all nice and neat. If you ever want to add more remove columns, click this arrow, show hide columns. You can select exactly what you want to show right here. DraftKings. Okay. Going straight optimal real quick. Rating says people aren't even in there, though. There was something we used to do when we would crunch by ratings. I don't know what you guys do. How do you use it? What do you do? Because, like, look, you're getting guys who aren't even... Is this where we remove players under 20 points projection? Was it for ratings crunches? We used to do something like that. Because we're not trying to get these guys in here, you know? Yeah, screw all that noise. Never mind. Ain't worth looking into for me. Not saying you should. I'm saying I eliminate games. Oh, got you. You like to eliminate full-out games. Lock in CD and Beasley. I don't know about that. There looked like there was a ton of value tonight and a ton of studs. I don't know if you need to lock anybody. It's not like last night, 5-game slate where there was only a certain amount of people that had 70-point ceilings and there's only a certain amount of value. Tonight, I mean, we looked at maybe you could probably see right in that 3 to 4K range. There was probably a dozen people worth using. I don't know if I'd lock anybody, bro. The closest thing to lock would be Beasley if you're doing like 20 lineups, maybe. Maybe like a single entry you want Beasley, yeah. But locking outside of that, I don't know. You might get 100% of them simply because his projection is probably going to be like 28 points. I bet he's going to be like 28, 29 points. Let me check. Let me check the value for tonight. 25. Our current has him at 25 for DraftKings. What's his FanDuel price? Bamba's still at 6.6. What the heck? Damian Lee still out? Furkan continue to start. Malik Beasley is 4.5K. At that guard spot, small forward and guard, like where you're often paying down on FanDuel. Golly. Let me check Superdraft. I'm getting excited about tonight. Actually, let me search Beasley. $1.9 multiplier. So, like, that is a guy, I'm telling you now. I don't know what our final projections will be. You always know that things change, right? And I'm just telling you now, I in Superdraft, I do tweak a little bit. Someone like Malik Beasley at almost 2 times multi, where I know he can get like 40 points for 80, hit you for 80 points, I'm there. Like, that's a guy I will often raise exposure to. Sorry, I know I went totally silent. I was really just starting to look at it. Now I'm starting to do my research for the slate tonight, even when I don't like to do this on this stream. Can you easily use Study Hub to filter and limit guys over? Yeah, let me show you. You know what's awesome, Greg, is if you just take this information and upload it into Fantasy Cruncher and just do it there, because then your player pool, you can do your player pool right in Fantasy Cruncher itself. Let's see here. I mean, I think you're overthinking this, my man. You got a guy at 3.8K. Is that what he was? 3.8, something like that. And Beasley, who in previous times when there was no D'Lo, when D'Lo was out, or I think he was playing for the Warriors, he was 7K. All right, it's just you're saving $4,000 on a guy who's has been taking 16 shots. I mean, he's going to take 18 shots or so. McLaughlin, we've seen in these spots in the past as a starter, just completely dud. And I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. I couldn't tell you, but give me the volume shooter. Give me a guy that can score at 3.6, 3.8, whatever he is. All right, what'd you ask? Let's see. Filter and limit guys? Yes. All right. So if you want to, I'm going to go over to DraftKings. And let's say I am just looking at this. I'm like, look at all these guys' ownerships. You can click this arrow here, number filters. And from here, you can type in less than, like if you want only guys less than 0.15. That's less than 15%. See? It took out all of those other players that were above 15%. So now you've you've limited your pool to only players under 15%. And then maybe you're looking at this and you're like, and I also only want players less than 50% owned with a rating based on our rating system over a 70 and their value I want to be greater than a 5. And now you've got a very small pool here of players less than 15% owned, a rating over 70, and a value over 5. So you've got a bunch of value plays down here right now. And if you looked at the names, they're probably a who's who of some of the guys we've already talked about today. And they're going to pop up right here, right now. And if you're going to go back, if there's one thing we're going to use for cash games, it's going to be right here, the rise percentage. A guy like McLaughlin popping off at 3K, probably going to play mid-20s minutes tonight. We have him projected for 22.5. So you got a guy like McLaughlin, maybe use him in cash games tonight at 3K, especially if he ends up getting the start, and then make that pivot somewhere else for tournaments. Although I will say 3K price tag for a guy that's going to play solid minutes, always hard to get away for me. But tonight we did see there were a million guys, a million of players tonight that are very affordable. Look at them all. My goodness. Look at all of these value plays. Look at the rise percentages. Malik with the highest rise percentage tonight. Svi is next. McLaughlin trailing right there. They're all close. Vanderbilt, Batum, Korkmaz, Steven Adams, all 50% or higher. Very high values. I mean, no one's ownership looks like astronomical. It's because it's such a large slate with so many people, you know? Wendell Carter, 6'1", sneaks in there. That's interesting. All right, fam. Oh, I always love looking at the night before and then just kind of peeling back the layer for tonight. I will say that I know people like to look at things like this and just look at all of this and try to figure out who's going to get usage. I'm going to be honest. I don't. It's fun. There's a few things I look at, though. This. I don't care about any of this. Could give a rat's butt about pace. I honestly don't even care too much about their usage, their minutes, their points. I barely look at any of this stuff. Had $2,000 in play last night, and the only thing I looked at was their ownership, their projections, and their values. What is their projection? At what ownership do I have to play a guy to get that projection, that median projection? And do they have what's their probability of hitting that? And what's their expected range outcomes? Like, if you want to look at it here, go ahead, use this then. Like, if you do want to use any of these things, look at here. Okay. Show me a guy who has a higher probability of hitting 7 or 8x. And look here. I mean, Jordan McLaughlin does have, out of this list here, he does have the highest, based on the Sims model today, highest chance, 24.5% chance of hitting 8x. And of course, that's going to be due to his price tag at 3K. You'll always have a higher probability of having a higher multiplier versus somebody who's like 6K, you know, Derek White or Joval at 8K. You know, he's 8.5K. Of course, his multiplier is going to be lower. But, you know, it's like you just got to look at the ownership. You weigh the probability of hitting their potential. And do you want to eat that ownership to get that potential? So on and so forth. That's just rinse, repeat, man. Rinse, repeat. I think people continuously get in their own way every single night of DFS. And meanwhile, I'm gonna pull out another 1,500 on Yahoo today, as I took first place again last night in the $7, the $3, and the $1 clean sweep. All right, won another 24. I'm gonna take out 1,500 of that 24. I'll have withdrawn $8,000 over the last 6 or 7 days of NBA across DraftKings, across Fanduel, Yahoo, and Superdraft. And I don't look at this stuff. You just don't have to. All this stuff that people like to look at, talk about, tweet about, write articles about, minutes, usage, trends, pace, Vegas. I mean, what the heck do you think is all baked into this? And like, if these things are so good, someone's, you know, oh, hey, here's an article. I can read you an article real quick. You ready for this? I mean, this is industry standard article. Hey, gotta love the Minnesota Timberwolves today. Team applied total 109. Nice pace up spot today. And look at Malik Beasley's usage rate at 22%, blah, 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 for the last 3 games. Minutes trend is up. There is no D-Lo tonight. So blah, blah, blah. I mean, what isn't that baked into this stuff? And isn't that why his ownership's going to be higher? Just be careful. Hey, man, I'm not debating you. Shoot, you do whatever you want, man. The heck? Not saying you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Larry. Oh, Kenny Grab, you like that voice there, huh? Yeah. Listen, homie, I don't have to ask CG about anybody. I believe everyone who says anything they say. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. There's no pride involved in having a platform, and there's definitely no pride involved in talking DFS. I talk DFS in Discord with brand new, like never played NBA before members, and I'll talk with people who have, $10,000 on the line each night, and I'll talk to them the same freaking way. We're all in this boat together, man. We're all trying to get better. We're all trying to refine our craft, be better players. It's been equal parts in FC, equal parts on the site. If anybody wants to get signed up, check us out. By all means, dive in. I'll see you in Discord. I think tonight might not be a bad idea in Fantasy Cruncher to put together groups of brackets, pricing brackets. If anybody saw the AMA, they asked me anything by Devin Puggle in Discord the other day, you would have seen him talking about pricing brackets, right? What I mean by that is this. You look at a guy, you look at all the players at, I don't know, maybe 10K and above, and you throw them into brackets, and you say, at most, groups at most 1. Oops. Well, I can do it here. And the pricing brackets will stop you from ending up having like 2 guys or 11K, 10K each, and then getting stuck with like, 2, 3K guys to even it out, or end up getting like 2 11K and then a 9K. And then you've got 4 guys who are 3K. Like it takes all 3 of those 10 plus K guys to absolutely go bonkers for that type of lineup build to win on DraftKings. So I think setting up pricing brackets might be the best thing. Pricing groups. Hey, looks like Untold. He says, I'm so late, dives right in, adds value to the stream. I love it, man. I salary bracket NBA, every NBA. Dude, I've seen you for what, 2 years together? 2-3 years on these streams? You always hop in on my streams. Back to like 2017, bro. You've been around. You're an OG. But I've seen you win, man. 4 or 5-digit wins, man. You know what you're doing. Salary brackets are huge in NBA. Huge. Huge. I'd say more important on DraftKings, too. If you've never heard of those, I mean, shoot, the back end of this stream was super important for you to hear. You have salary bracket groups also, basically, says Dewey. Real recognize real. What's up? What's up, Bobby? If that's who I think it is, I see you out there in the streets, dude. Always enjoy talking to you on Twitter. All right, I got to go. Stayed a little bit late for y'all today. Somebody's going to win some more money tonight. I hope it's me. Not going to lie. I hope it's me. Shoot. I'm going to run it back tonight on FanDuel. What is it? $4, $5? I don't like the $5. I never max the 5 out. $4.44? Yeah, I can do that. The $5.55, I don't like that one, though. It's expensive. It's like $900. I'll play $900, but only on like Yahoo or Superdraft. Shoot, I played $1,300 on Superdraft last night. Superdraft is my baby. FanDuel, DraftKings, these sites, I mean, I try to limit it $600-700 a night. So I'll probably max this one out. I wish you all the best of luck tonight, though. Hope somebody hits something big. I'll see you all in chat. Fortune favors the bold, man. Fortune favors the bold. Oh, check out myspray.com and teamriseorfall.com. Get $20 to use on FC. Thank you very much for the sponsor. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, FC. I love you. And I'll see everybody on the inside Discord. And any of those FC questions, please fire them at me. I'm always happy to help anybody out using it. Take care, everybody.